For decades, the Middle East has been one of the most politically volatile and strategically important regions in the world. Conflicts in this region often dominate global headlines, influencing international relations, energy markets, and global security policies. Many observers see these conflicts simply as regional disputes involving religion, ethnicity, or territorial disagreements. However, beneath the surface lies a far more complex geopolitical reality shaped by global power competition, strategic alliances, energy security, and long-term military planning. The role of the United States in the Middle East has been particularly significant. Since the mid-20th century, the United States has maintained deep political, military, and economic involvement in the region. Its strategy has evolved through different historical periods, from Cold War containment policies to modern counterterrorism operations and efforts to maintain regional stability. Understanding the deeper story behind Middle East conflicts requires examining how global powers interact with local dynamics. Factors such as oil resources, maritime trade routes, ideological competition, and security alliances all play a role in shaping U.S. strategy. The result is a complicated geopolitical landscape where regional conflicts are often linked to broader global interests. Today, we will talk about the untold story behind Middle East conflicts and U.S. strategy. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. The historical roots of U.S. involvement in the Middle East. The United States did not always play a dominant role in the Middle East. Before the mid-20th century, European powers such as the United Kingdom and France were the primary external actors shaping regional politics. After the end of World War II, however, the geopolitical balance shifted dramatically. European colonial influence declined, and the United States emerged as a global superpower. At the same time, the growing importance of oil transformed the Middle East into a region of enormous strategic value. During the Cold War, the United States sought to prevent the spread of Soviet influence in the region. This goal shaped many American policies, including military alliances, economic partnerships, and diplomatic initiatives. Countries that aligned with Western interests often received security guarantees and economic support from Washington. Meanwhile, governments perceived as sympathetic to the Soviet Union were treated as geopolitical rivals. The strategic importance of oil. One of the most important reasons for U.S. involvement in the Middle East has been energy security. The region holds a significant share of the world's proven oil reserves, making it a central pillar of the global energy system. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, and Kuwait possess vast oil resources that fuel global economies. The stability of oil supply has long been considered a critical national interest for the United States. Disruptions in energy production or shipping routes could cause dramatic increases in global oil prices, triggering economic instability worldwide. As a result, American policymakers have historically focused on maintaining stability in key energy-producing regions and protecting vital maritime routes such as the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S.-Israel Strategic Partnership. Another key component of American strategy in the Middle East is its strong relationship with Israel. Since Israel's founding in 1948, the United States has gradually developed a close political and military partnership with the country. Israel is widely regarded as one of America's most important allies in the region. This partnership includes extensive military cooperation, intelligence sharing, and diplomatic support in international organizations. Supporters argue that Israel provides the United States with a reliable strategic partner in a region often characterized by political instability. At the same time, U.S. support for Israel has also been a source of controversy, particularly in relation to the Palestinian territories and the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Iran and the strategic rivalry. One of the most important rivalries shaping U.S. strategy in the Middle East involves Iran. Relations between the United States and Iran were not always hostile. Before 1979, Iran was a close ally of Washington under the rule of the Shah. However, the Iranian Revolution dramatically changed the political landscape. Since then, tensions between the two countries have remained high. Disputes over Iran's nuclear program, regional influence, and support for armed groups have contributed to decades of political confrontation. Iran's influence extends across several parts of the Middle East, including Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. These connections form part of what analysts often call a regional axis of resistance, opposing U.S. and Israeli influence. The War on Terror and Military Interventions. Following the September 11th attacks, U.S. strategy in the Middle East shifted significantly. The attacks led to the launch of the War on Terror, which included major military interventions in Afghanistan and Iraq. The 2003 invasion of Iraq, in particular, had profound consequences for the region. While the goal was to remove the government of Saddam Hussein, the conflict also reshaped Iraq's political system and altered the regional balance of power. Many analysts argue that the aftermath of the Iraq War contributed to the rise of new militant groups and intensified sectarian divisions across the region. The role of regional allies. The United States also relies heavily on partnerships with regional allies to maintain stability and counterbalance rival powers. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Jordan maintain strong security relationships with Washington. These partnerships often include arms sales, military training programs, and intelligence cooperation. Through these alliances, the United States seeks to maintain a network of regional partners capable of addressing security threats. Great power competition in the Middle East. In recent years, the Middle East has also become a stage for competition among major global powers. Russia has expanded its presence in the region, particularly through its military intervention in Syria. Meanwhile, China has increased economic investment through infrastructure projects and energy partnerships. This growing multipolar competition means that U.S. strategy must now account not only for regional conflicts, but also for the ambitions of other global powers seeking influence in the Middle East. Economic and strategic trade routes. Beyond oil, the Middle East also sits at the crossroads of major global trade routes connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa. Control of key waterways such as the Suez Canal and the Bab el-Mandeb is vital for international commerce. Ensuring the security of these trade routes is another reason why global powers maintain a strong military and diplomatic presence in the region. The future of U.S. strategy in the Middle East. Looking ahead, the United States faces difficult choices about how to balance its strategic priorities in the Middle East. Some policymakers advocate reducing military involvement while focusing more on diplomacy and economic partnerships. Others argue that continued engagement is necessary to prevent regional instability and counter rival powers. Technological development.